Hey everyone, welcome back to BuzzReels. You guys know we love to break down all the latest MCU news and theories, and today we are diving deep into Thunderbolts. Well, Thunderbolts with an asterisk. Seriously, Marvel.
Yeah.
What's up with that asterisk?
Right. It's got everyone talking. But it's definitely got us hyped for this movie. We know it's coming out in May 2025. Directed by Jake Schreier.
And the cast is amazing. Sebastian Stan is back as Bucky Barnes, always a fan favorite. And Florence Pugh is returning as Yelena Belova. I am so excited to see her dynamic with Wyatt Russell, who's coming back as John Walker.
Yeah.
U.S. agent. Talk about a recipe for some serious tension.
Totally. Bucky's past is the Winter Soldier. And John Walker's the whole Captain America situation. They definitely have some different ideas about justice.
For sure. Now, we can't forget about the OG crew coming back, too. David Harbour as Red Guardian. Hannah John Kamen as Ghost, and Olga Kurylenko as Taskmaster.
Oh, yeah. And to make things even more interesting, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is back as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. She's the one putting this whole team together. And hold on to your hats, because Harrison Ford is joining the MCU as President Thaddeus Ross. Legendary casting.
Wait, so does this mean we could see Red Hulk, President Ross turning into a giant red rage monster? That would be wild.
It would definitely shake things up. There's definitely potential there, especially considering the comic book history. But even if we don't see Red Hulk this time around, having Harrison Ford in the MCU is huge.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about the mysterious Louis Pullman, playing a character simply named Bob. Could this be our first glimpse at Sentry?
That's the theory a lot of people are leaning towards. It would make sense, considering Sentry's power levels and his whole evil alter ego thing.
The Void. Okay. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Sentry and the Void, this is some next-level comic book lore. Imagine Superman, but with a dark, destructive side that can rival his own power.
Exactly. Having Sentry in the mix definitely raises the stakes for the Thunderbolts. And the trailers heavily hint that he's the big bad they have to face.
Speaking of the trailers, there's this one shot where it's revealed that Valentina Allegra de Fontaine has bought Avengers Tower. I mean, can you believe it? The symbol of the Avengers is now owned by the director of the CIA, who also happens to be putting together this team of, let's call them, redeemable individuals.
It definitely sends chills down your spine. What's her endgame here? Is she trying to create a government-sanctioned version of the Avengers? And with the real Avengers MIA since Endgame, the timing is interesting.
Totally. Remember Avengers, Doomsday isn't coming out until 2026, so fans are hungry for any sort of Avengers action. Is Marvel trying to fill that void? No pun intended. With the Thunderbolts.
It's a possibility. I mean, the trailers make it pretty clear that the Thunderbolts are assembled, because the Avengers aren't available to deal with this massive threat, likely Sentry and the Void.
And they even show a glimpse of a huge battle happening in, you guessed it, New York City, just like the first Avengers movie.
It's fascinating how New York keeps becoming this battleground for the fate of the world. It's almost like it represents everything the Avengers are trying to protect. And now with the Thunderbolts stepping in, you have to wonder if they're up to the task.
Okay, so this brings us to the big elephant in the room. Or should I say, the giant asterisk in the title.
Yeah.
The Thunderbolts becoming the Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's too obvious to ignore.
Right. In the comics, the Thunderbolts eventually transition into the Dark Avengers, led by Norman Osborn, a character we haven't seen in the MCU yet. Could this be Marvel's way of finally bringing him into the fold?
That would be insane.
Yeah.
Especially since the last time we saw Norman Osborn, he was played by Willem Dafoe.
Wow.
In a completely different Spider-Man franchise.
Right. And just think about the implications. The Dark Avengers are basically a twisted reflection of the real Avengers, using their power for personal gain and manipulating public perception.
That's what makes them so interesting. They blur the lines between hero and villain, which seems to be a recurring theme in Phase 5 of the MCU.
Totally. And we're even seeing a younger generation of heroes emerging with the Young Avengers. It's like Marvel is showing us all these different versions of what it means to be a hero, or maybe an anti-hero, in this post-Endgame world.
So do you think the Thunderbolts ending, with surviving members embracing the Dark Avengers mantle, is a real possibility?
It's definitely a possibility, but what do you guys think? Are we reading too much into that asterisk? Hit us up in the comments with your theories and predictions.
And hey, while you're down there, smash that like button and subscribe to BuzzReels. For more MCU breakdowns and theories, we'll be back with more Thunderbolts analysis soon.
I think that asterisk is definitely intentional. Marvel knows how much we love to speculate, and they're dropping these breadcrumbs for a reason.
Right. And it's not just the asterisk. The whole vibe of this movie feels different. Like we're dealing with characters who operate in the gray areas. They're not your typical squeaky clean Avengers.
Exactly, and that's what makes them so compelling. Take Yelena Belova, for example. She's a skilled assassin, but she's also struggling with the legacy of the Black Widow program and finding her own place in the world.
And then there's Bucky Barnes, who's spent decades trying to atone for his actions as the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Can he truly trust himself to be part of a team again?
And let's not forget John Walker, after his fall from grace as Captain America. He's got a lot to prove. I'm curious to see how he interacts with the rest of the team, especially Bucky.
Oh, the tension between those two is going to be epic.
Yeah.
And then there's Red Guardian. He's this washed-up super soldier trying to relive his glory days.
Yeah.
I can already imagine him trying to outshine everyone, especially U.S. agent.
And Ghost. She's got this tragic backstory and these incredible phasing abilities. How does she fit into the team dynamic? And what about Taskmaster? The ultimate mimic, always adapting and observing. The potential for character clashes is off the charts.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Mm.
And we're just scratching the surface here. There are so many layers to this team and their individual stories.
And then there's Valentina pulling the strings behind the scenes. She's such an enigmatic character. We know she's the director of the CIA, and now she owns Avengers Tower. What kind of power does that give her?
It's like she's creating her own army. But for what purpose? Is she a true believer in national security, or does she have her own agenda?
That's the big question, isn't it? And with the Avengers out of the picture, she's basically got a free pass to do whatever she wants.
It's almost like we're entering this new era of the MCU, where the lines between government control and superhero vigilantism are blurred.
And the Thunderbolts are caught right in the middle of it. They're this team of anti-heroes and reformed villains being manipulated by a powerful government figure. Are they pawns in her game, or will they break free and forge their own path?
And then there's the threat of Sentry and the void looming over everything. We've got to assume this is the reason Valentina forms the Thunderbolts in the first place.
Right. I mean, you don't assemble a team like this unless you're facing a world-ending threat. And the void is definitely that. It's like the embodiment of chaos and destruction.
It's almost like Marvel is taking the what-if approach to the Avengers. What if the team was assembled by the government? What if they were made up of people with questionable pasts? And what if they had to face an enemy that was even more powerful than Thanos?
That's a great way to put it. It's like they're flipping the script on everything we thought we knew about the MCU.
And the Dark Avengers theory just adds another layer of intrigue to it all. Are we going to see the Thunderbolts make the full transition to the Dark Avengers by the end of the movie? Or is that something that will play out over multiple phases?
I think it's safe to say that this movie is just the beginning. Marvel is planting seeds that will likely grow into something much bigger.
Which makes it even more exciting. I mean, think about the potential here. We could see the Thunderbolts clashing with the Young Avengers, or even facing off against the remnants of the original Avengers in Doomsday.
The possibilities are endless. And that's what makes the MCU so captivating. It's this ever-evolving saga with twists and turns that you never see coming.
And we're along for the ride. So what do you guys think? Are you excited for Thunderbolts? Are you buying into the Dark Avengers theory? Let us know in the comments.
And if you're loving this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe to BuzzReels for more MCU content.
It feels like Marvel is really pushing the boundaries with Phase 5. It's not just about saving the world anymore. It's about exploring the complexities of power and morality, and what it truly means to be a hero.
Absolutely. The lines are definitely getting blurred. You have government agencies getting involved with superhero affairs, teams like the Thunderbolts operating in a morally gray area, and then you've got these legacy characters like Bucky and U.S. Agent trying to find their place in this new world.
And the fans are eating it up. Everyone's trying to figure out where Marvel is going with all of this. Is the Thunderbolts movie setting the stage for a massive showdown between different factions of heroes and anti-heroes? Will we see the rise of a new world order, where the government has complete control over superpowered individuals?
It's all speculation at this point, but that's what's so exciting. Marvel has created this universe where anything feels possible. They're constantly challenging our expectations and subverting the tropes of the superhero genre.
And they're not afraid to take risks. I mean, introducing a character like Sentry, who's essentially a walking god with a dark side, that could destroy the entire universe. That's a bold move.
It definitely shows that Marvel is willing to push the envelope and explore some truly epic storylines. And let's not forget the potential for some mind-blowing action sequences. Just imagine the Thunderbolts facing off against Sentry and the Void.
Oh, man. I'm already getting chills just thinking about it. And with Jake Schreier directing, who's known for his unique visual style and character-driven storytelling, we're in for a real treat.
It's going to be a visual spectacle for sure. And with such a talented cast bringing these complex characters to life, Thunderbolts has the potential to be one of the most memorable and impactful films in the entire MCU.
It's definitely shaping up to be a game changer. So let us know in the comments what you think about the Thunderbolts movie and the Dark Avengers theory. Are you excited to see this team on the big screen? What are your predictions for their future in the MCU? We want to hear all your thoughts.
And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into all things Thunderbolts, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to BuzzReels. For more MCU news and analysis, we're breaking down all the latest trailers, rumors, and theories, so make sure you're following along.